It's over. The ceasefire between Iran and the United States has been called off by President Donald Trump hours after the two countries carried out multiple strikes, reigniting the hostilities. The American president called Iranian leaders scums, sick people, and vicious. Take a listen.
I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. There's something wrong with them. They're cuckoo. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
Now, Trump also said that his negotiators, Witkoff and Kushner, can continue the negotiations, but he doesn't like the Iranian leadership.
But they're bad people. They're bad people. And frankly, I don't want to waste my time with them. Now, I'll let our wonderful negotiators keep talking if they want, but I don't see it. I don't like these people.
Now, Trump hardened his stance on denuclearization of Iran and warned that he may attack Iran again tonight.
They launched a couple of drones and one rocket, one missile, and at ships, because they were in the strait, which they have every right to be. And so we hit them very hard last night, very, very hard. Probably hit them hard again tonight. I'll give them a little warning, we're going to hit them hard tonight. But we'll see how it all works out. No, I'm not happy with them. You know?
The interim ceasefire agreement signed between Washington and Tehran on the 17th of June, remember, was intended to provide a 60-day window for the negotiations on a permanent agreement. But indirect talks in Qatar ended with no sign of a headway, and the U.S. military unleashed a new wave of strikes on Tuesday this week. The U.S. Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has cancelled his Israel visit amid this latest escalation. Now, remember, the Gulf is once again at the center of a dangerous geopolitical crisis, and the clouds of a heightened war have gripped the world. While the United States said that it has carried out strikes on more than 80 military targets inside Iran, Iran responded by launching missiles and drones towards Bahrain and Kuwait, two Gulf nations that host major American military bases. And all of this, remember, happens as thousands marched in Iraq to pay their last respects to the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Kuwait's Ministry of Electricity said that several power lines were damaged by the shrapnel during the Iranian attacks. Remember, these fresh strikes come amid the U.S. Treasury Department also withdrawing a waiver that had allowed Iran to sell its oil. In fact, oil prices rose dramatically after Trump spoke, with global benchmark Brent crude futures for September delivery jumping 5.7% to trade at about $78.41 per barrel. So what exactly has happened? Let me explain to you. As per the United States, the latest military operation was launched after a series of attacks on commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Washington says that those attacks threatened international navigation and global energy security. American forces struck more than 80 military installations across Iran. These reportedly included air defense systems, command centers, coastal radar stations, missile infrastructure, and naval facilities belonging to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the IRGC. Within hours, missiles and drones were launched towards Bahrain and Kuwait, triggering air defense systems and emergency alerts in both these countries. But why Bahrain and Kuwait? Well, the answer lies in America's military footprint across the Gulf. Remember, the U.S. has maintained military bases throughout the region for decades. Bahrain hosts the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, which oversees the naval operations across the Gulf, the Arabian Sea, and parts of the Indian Ocean. Meanwhile, Kuwait serves as a major logistics and operational hub for American forces in West Asia. In a statement on Wednesday, Iran's foreign ministry labeled the strikes a gross violation of the Memorandum of Understanding that Washington and Iran had reached last month. Washington accuses Iran of threatening the freedom of navigation. Iran, meanwhile, has rejected those allegations, and it argues that the U.S. military's presence itself is the source of instability in Hormuz. The shipping attack involved the Oman side transit corridor of the Strait of Hormuz and not the Iranian side. So essentially, the attacks occurred in the Strait of Hormuz's shipping corridor near the coast of Oman, which is in the eastern southern approach to the Strait of Hormuz, rather than in the Iranian side of the waterway. The vessels were transiting a route that had been used to restore commercial traffic through the strait when they were struck. The shipping lane was a safer passage supported by international coordination rather than the traditional route that is closer to the Iranian coast. The reported American strikes that followed were a response to these attacks on commercial shipping. Iranian media said explosions were reported around the Sirik and nearby coastal facilities in southern Iran on the northern side of the Strait of Hormuz. The latest strikes have pushed the war into a far more dangerous phase, with Donald Trump having made up his mind that it is over. Both sides once again remain adamant on their respective stances.